to New Bits with Vac and Vinnie, the only podcast where you get to hear professional comedians working out jokes for their act and making them funny in real time.
In real time.
In real time, we're doing it. And we are so glad you're back. Thank you so much for joining us again. If this is your first time, thanks for giving us a shot. We are so glad you're here.
Yeah, thank you.
Yes, we are. We have a great show for you today. Vac has 2 Fly or Die videos. We're going to do some video reviews. You're going to get to see the Vertigo bit and the morning person bit the first time it's ever been in front of an audience.
Ever.
Or you're going to get to hear it. It depends on which platform you're listening or watching. I understand back that we have another podcast review. I understand
we do have another review.
Vinnie. Yeah. Yes, sir.
And let me read it to you. I had to write it down.
Okay.
I had to write this whole thing down. It's from, I believe, is it Shaker or Shakar? I'm not sure how it's pronounced. But thank you for the is it AAKER? Thank you for the review.
Sharker.
I had to write it down, and you might want to edit this because I don't want to go over time. The title is Fascinating and Funny.
Okay.
Good title, right? Right to the point.
I love it.
Everybody, here we go. Here's the review. Ready? Worth a listen. So thank you for that.
Thank you.
The time it took to do that. People take a lot of. It must have been at least, would you say, 60 seconds out of his or her day, which I appreciate because people are busy.
Yeah, they're busy, but hey, God bless them or her. Thank you so much.
Him, her, zit, whatever.
Zer, whatever. We love that you wrote the review.
Yes.
If you are listening and you would love to have a review read, good or bad, we'll read it.
Yeah, we'll read it, man.
We ain't scared.
We ain't scared of nothing. But this is what we do for a living.
Yeah.
I mean, if we're afraid to read a review, oh my God, how are we going to get on stage in front of 500 people and try material? I mean,
I was just about to say, we're comedians. We've been dealing with rejection our whole life.
Yeah, even before comedy.
Even before comedy, yeah.
That's when we get into comedy.
That's right. So yeah, thank you so much for that review. Short and sweet. Love it. You don't have to be as short and sweet if you have a lot to say, whether it's good or bad. Vac and I will read it on the next podcast. Please write us a review. Please subscribe. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for being here. Let's get into this, Vac. I'm so excited.
Right, man. This was a lot because I did 2 new bits in the one show.
Ballsy. You got balls. I love it, dude. Last week, Vac brought 2 bits to the podcast. He bought a Vertigo bit, and he brought a morning person bit to the podcast. Let's look at the Vertigo bit first. Vac and I worked it out. We talked about it. We discussed it, and this is the first time it's ever been in front of an audience. Let's take a look at it.
My ex-wife had vertigo. People get dizzy, they trip and fall. She had vertigo. It was a serious thing. So I had organized a 5K charity run to raise money for vertigo research. I thought that was a nice thing to do, right? You sponsor the runners and all that. I thought it was a nice thing to do. It's great in theory. But the reality was, none of the runners could finish the race. As soon as the started, they were like, One guy went the wrong way. We owed his sponsor money. I tried though, right? I tried.
There it is. Holy cow, man. I mean,
I know. A little far away from the camera. I was obviously in a theater, and that was the only place I could put the camera.
Yeah.
I'm gonna record again in the same place tomorrow night, and we'll zoom it in.
Hey, whatever, but for those who are watching on Spotify or watching on YouTube, you got to look at that massive theater. It was filled. and the bit killed. I mean, it did great. The first time in front of an audience, and it did great. You can't ask for much better than that on a first time.
No. And here's the thing, as you know, I think we talked about this here on the podcast. Sometimes you try a new bit and it works. And then you go out the next time and you're like, yeah, I know this is going to work. And it doesn't because you lost a little bit of that. You got a little too cocky maybe. So I'm going to do it tomorrow night. I was, of course, I went over the notes after, and I forgot to say that was the beginning of the end of the marriage, and you never finish anything. But remember you said that.
Yeah.
But I'm going to try to get it in tomorrow night, and we always have a little trepidation first time we're doing something, especially like the bits you did with the hotel and your son. Those are hunks. So that's a lot. This is a little bit quicker. But what I wanted to do, Vinny, which I think we talked about, was I actually wanted to say none of the runners could finish the race. As soon as it started, they all kind of went, and I wanted to actually fall.
Yeah.
But we're getting so old. It's like, I'm going to get up. Like,
you don't want to break a hip.
Actually, you can't tell. I watched the video. If you can't tell. But I actually went to try to fall, and the ship was doing a little bit of this,
Oh, no.
And my foot slipped just like 2 inches. And so I lost direction of
safe fall.
Go.
Yeah.
Yeah, I couldn't just free fall.
Fall safely.
I'm actually going to just, instead of trying to like run and fall, I'm going to make believe I'm running and then just actually drop. Yeah. I think falling is funny.
Sure. Yeah.
And that's it. So, but for like a second, I went, "Ooh, did I get hurt?" Because I think my left foot kind of slipped out a bit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I kind of lost a little bit of traction, and I just went, "Oh, let me just stay up and not break anything."
Well, you covered that. I didn't see any of that. That's interesting that you say that. I mean, the stuff that happens while we're on stage and the audience isn't even aware of. So go back and look at that video and try to spot that, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, that's interesting. Next time I watch it, I'm going to do that. But yeah, you recovered well. Thank you. Do you have any other notes about it that you were going to say? Because I got a couple of things I wrote.
Okay, great. Did you say, is there an anal analogy, an analogy to that?
You said you felt like there's an analogy, and I agreed with you, and I actually wrote something down, and I don't know if it's funny or not. It's just something that came to my head.
Okay.
You want to hear it?
Yes, but let me tell you what's in my notes.
Okay.
Is there an anal analogy? So I must have started writing analogy, stop, and then wrote it, not realizing I started.
Yeah, right.
And I'm going, what the hell is Vinny talking about?
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Okay.
I think you should go blue here. Greg.
Yeah. All right. So I'm curious to what your note would be.
Well, I was trying to find something as outrageous as people with vertigo in a race. I think that's where the analogy would lie. And I go, yeah, it's about as good an idea as having a bake sale for anorexia research.
Okay.
Now
I get your point. I think that's great.
Yeah.
I do a bit where I talk about Miss New York and the Miss America pageant.
Yeah.
And the Southern girl, compare and contrast.
Yeah.
And so I say for the Southern girl, one of the lines I say is with an accent, I'll say, they lie about everything, but we just love them. That's why they win. And I have her say, I say, all I want is, hang on, now I'm forgetting. I go, I want to have a bake sale for the American Diabetes Association. And what's the other one that I do? I want to read to deaf. I want to read to deaf children.
Read to deaf.
I want to have a bake sale for the American Diabetes.
Yeah.
So, but that's a good point. We think alike. I got to think of something that would be like that. That would be like having, what could we say? That would be like having
a high jump contest for muscular dystrophy research.
A A track event.
A track event, a track and field event for muscular dystrophy research.
Yeah, that'll get me thrown off the ship, but
Right.
but I like it. I think that's a really good idea, and I forgot that we discussed that, and I should have.
Yeah.
Because all I see is there an anal analogy? Okay.
I just came up with an analogy, but I'll try to come up with an anal analogy
Right.
for
Yeah, I'd
next
appreciate
one.
that. Do something for me, will you?
You got it. So, and there's this like I have mentioned before on previous podcasts. My wife and I watch these. I watch them to make sure that it sounds good, looks good. She really enjoys watching the podcast, and it just came out of her. She goes, Vertigo as a horoscope sign. It's Vertigo. No, it wasn't her. No, it wasn't her. What is it called? It wasn't her zodiac sign. She had vertigo. I don't know. It's just an angle or possibly a line or something like that. I thought it was very funny, so I wrote it down.
Okay, that's a really good idea because it does sound like it could be a zodiac sign.
Virgo, right?
What if okay, I'm going to put a question mark and think about it. But I think that what if I said something like I said one time? So I don't want to do the old "what's your sign" thing, but maybe one night she told me she had vertigo, and I'm like, "Oh, you were born in June?" I can't even know what it was. Like maybe that's it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Tell you. Yes, I like the way she's thinking.
Oh yeah.
All right.
Oh, you were born in June. Nice. That's funny. Yeah. Other than that, Vac, I didn't really write anything else for this bit. It's as you surmised when you brought it to the podcast. You said, I think this might be it, and I think you're right, man. It's a funny bit. It works. I think the more you do it, the funnier it's gonna get. Just because you'll come up with different physicalities that'll whatever. Yeah. But I wanted to mention I love the gunshot. I just,
okay.
As a technical thing, visual stuff like that. You can see the race.
Yeah. Okay, the gunshot. I'm glad you said that. I forgot I did that.
It's little things like that just it's. I mean, you hear it all the time. It's the little things that make a difference, and just that little. You didn't even say gunshot. Just everybody knew. You pointed and it was. I thought that was
okay. I'm glad you said that because I didn't realize I did it.
Yeah, it was a great decision.
Okay.
Yeah, that's really all I had for it. And what I wrote here on top was this bit is ready. This bit is
I mean,
yeah. It could use an analogy like we were talking about, or it could not. You could throw in the vertigo as a zodiac sign, or you could not. Right now, it works, in my opinion.
Yeah. Having a race for people with vertigo is kind of like having boom. I think that might work if I could think of something.
Yeah.
It's like having a.
And that could be. I mean, if it's an outrageous enough, it's an outrageous enough analogy that could come after we owe the sponsor money.
Okay.
In hindsight, having a race for people with vertigo is kind of like didn't think it through. Didn't think it through.
I meant well, but okay.
I meant well. Yeah, I was a good husband. Yeah.
All right.
So yeah.
Good. Thank you.
Absolutely. All right, I'm excited about this one too. This is Vac. Last episode, Vac gave me a choice between two premises. I picked this one, morning people, and Vac and I bounced it back and forth. And here it is. First time in front of an audience.
First time.
Let's take a look.
She was a morning person. I am not a morning person. I'm a night person. She's a morning person. Folks, my ex would get up at 3:30 every morning. On the weekend, she would sleep in the 4:15 and freak out. Oh my God, I lost my whole day. 3:30 a.m. every day. Every day. I told a buddy of mine, I said, oh yeah, my wife gets up early too, 6:30, 7 o'clock. I'm like, that's nothing. I would pray for that. I'm like, call me when your second ball drops. That is nothing. What are you complaining about, you sissy? You know who else gets up early in the morning? Vampires. I'm not saying my ex-wife is a vampire because my lawyer said it would be slander. All I'm saying is she often slept upside down. She hated garlic and there were no mirrors in the house. You make your own conclusions. Draw your own conclusions.
Boom. Dude, I got to tell you, man, back to back bits. See, they don't know because they didn't see them. They didn't see these together. But, ladies and gentlemen, those bits came back to back. Vac tried out 2 new bits back to back, and holy cow, they both did amazingly well. Now, a lot of times, you know, when we're trying out bits, and Vac backed me up on this, you know, we'll get a few laughs. We'll get a few laughs here and there, you know. Sometimes it doesn't go like that. So that took balls. Kudos to you, my friend. Holy cow.
Thank you.
It went really well. So what did you see as when you look at that?
Well, I think it's always good, and you and I think have the same philosophy, is when we bring material to the stage through this podcast, but to the stage that's about us and things we've experienced or are experiencing. I love that kind of stuff.
Me too.
And so and you do the thing about your kids, the hotel, you were there, all that stuff. I love it. I love it when I see a comedian, I can say, oh, I know something about them. I like that.
Yeah.
And this is something that was a big part of the marriage.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, we're night people. We work at night.
Yeah.
And, you know, very often, you know, not that I'm out partying. You're out partying. We're doing shows. You're home at midnight, 1 o'clock. You're wide. You have something to eat. You might not get to bed till 2.
Yeah.
And then it takes you a little while. You watch a little TV. Just you dozing off. You're like, well, what the hell's going on? And it took me a while to adjust to that. And sometimes it was a problem. Like, I don't blame her. It just was a problem.
Yeah.
And so I always wanted to talk about that.
Yeah.
So I'm glad I got it out. I'm glad I got it on stage. And I don't even remember now. Did I say? I just watched it.
Yeah.
Did I say the line about the U.S. Army told her to go back to sleep?
No, I wrote that down. I wrote that down. Yeah.
I knew it.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay, because that I think you gave me that, right? And that's
no, you said it, and then I said, you know, we don't want to do that much before 9 a.m.
That's it. And it bugged me when I was done with it. I said, you forgot something, and I couldn't dwell on it because it was over.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. And you just blurted it out. And I was like, oh man, yeah, the Army doesn't even get up that early. You know? I think that was you who said that.
Okay.
Yeah. And then we discussed that might be a tough reference for the younger people in the audience. But you know what? I don't mind that sometimes, because for some of the people who get it, they're gonna be like, oh yes, I remember that, you know?
Yeah. Okay.
And then you said I asked you, just out of curiosity, I said, was she in the Army? And then you said, no, they wouldn't take her. She got up too early.
Wait a minute. I remember that, but I didn't write it down. That might.
I mean, I was just asking you out of curiosity, and you go, nah, they wouldn't take her. She got up too early.
That's right. You asked me that, and I said, nah, she got up too early.
Yeah.
Okay. There might be a way I can actually work that in.
Yeah, okay. I wrote it down. I was like, I loved it. Even though it was maybe like one of those 50-50 references that, you know, but you know, and like I said in the last podcast, I know that's probably not the smartest philosophy for a comedian to have. Hey, I don't mind if only 50% of the audience gets it.
Yeah.
But I don't. I like that stuff.
Yeah. And it's only a couple lines. It's not a whole big, long thing.
Yeah, boom.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Vinnie,
What else?
I love this stuff you told me about the vampires.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I think I executed it.
You did.
Okay.
Yeah, you did. Yeah. Yeah, I got a couple things here. I got a technical thing. But I'm listening to you now. So unless you're done.
No, go ahead.
Oh, okay. So I was this is another thing that my wife said as we were watching a podcast. Oh, I like that you said I like the part where you say no. So, on the weekend she'd get up at 4:15 and she'd be upset about it. She'd go, oh, I lost my whole day. 3:30. No, 3:30. She's up building a birdhouse and clipping coupons.
Okay.
Just like to give her something to do. My wife came up with the building a birdhouse, and I came up with the clipping coupons. Just like that's what she's doing at 3:30. Like she's not just, she's up, she's doing shit.
Oh yeah, no, she'd get up and work. She'd work out for an hour.
Don't say that because that might make her sound normal.
Yeah. No, you can't do that. You know what I like about both of those things?
Yeah.
Building a birdhouse. Coupons. First of all, it'll be very easy to remember when I'm up there.
Yeah.
Building a birdhouse, clipping coupons.
Yeah.
I mean, I love it. I absolutely love it. Thank
you. And then we also came up with this. I go, she's up at 3:30 building a birdhouse and clipping coupons. I mean, if you're not prepping for a triple bypass or making donuts, you got no business being up at 3:30 in the morning.
Oh my God, that's hysterical.
Yeah.
I got a triple bypass.
If you're not prepping for a triple bypass or making donuts, remember the old campaign? The got to get up and make the donuts.
Absolutely, that guy became famous.
Yeah, became famous just from that commercial.
Okay, so if you're not prepping for a triple bypass or making donuts, what, go back to bed or?
Yeah, you got no business being up at 3:30 in the morning. No, she's up. She's building a birdhouse and clipping coupons. What are you doing? Can't go back to bed. Even the Army doesn't get up at 9 a.m. They're like, go back to bed. We don't want to do that much before 9 a.m. You just boom, boom, boom.
Boom, boom, boom.
Yeah. And then,
I like this line. Was she in the Army? No, she got up to, I could say she would get up at 3:30 every morning.
Yeah.
In the weekend, she'd sleep until 4:15. Oh my God, I lost my whole day. Someone asked me, is she in the Army? I'm like, nah, they wouldn't take her. She's up too early.
There you go.
Maybe that's where to put that.
There you go.
They don't want to do that much before 9 a.m.
Yeah, even they don't want to do that much before 9 a.m. Boom.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are you building a birdhouse? You better be building a birdhouse or clipping coupons.
Yeah, she's up at 3:30. She's building a birdhouse and clipping coupons.
If you're not prepping for a triple bypass or making
donuts.
You know.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you like the way the I'm sorry. Go ahead. You have notes. I'm sorry.
Yeah. No, it's okay. The other thing. Now, this is technical, Vac.
Okay.
This is technical.
And
I understand it's a first time, so I feel like a schmuck for bringing this up because I know you know it, but I would have slowed down the whole thing about I hear people complain about morning people. Yeah, my wife is up at 5:30 every morning. I would have slowed that down. That's not a morning person. 5:30, 6 o'clock. That's a dawn person.
Yeah.
Right?
Okay.
My wife is up at 3:30. Call me when your second ball drops.
I said it, but I don't know if they
I know
heard
you
it.
did. I know, and it got a great laugh.
Okay, okay.
Yeah. But the point I'm making is I would have slowed all that down.
Okay.
No, that's not a morning person. That's a dawn person. My wife's a morning person. Okay, 3:30 in the morning. That's call me when your second ball drops. Okay, 5:30.
Okay.
I would have killed for 5:30.
Yeah. I would have killed for 5:30. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And then you go into the who's a morning who morning people are, and then boom, the whole vampire thing, which I thought that worked great.
Yeah, I thought it worked really well.
Yeah, I'm not saying. Yeah.
And you know what got a good laugh? If I remember it's already been a few minutes, but when I said, I'm not saying she's a vampire, and then your line about my lawyer said it was slander.
Yeah.
All I'm saying is,
I'm gonna let you decide.
okay. And okay, good.
And then you listed them off, which was great. She didn't like garlic. She slept upside down. She doesn't own a mirror. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, the prosecution rests.
Okay.
You decide. I mean, once you use the slander line, I don't know.
Okay. I'm going to try tomorrow.
That's great, buddy.
All right. Cool.
For a first time out, I thought it was, I mean, Vac, I love this little project that we're doing. And
Me too.
when I see, you brought the bit to the podcast, we bounced it back and forth, and then I saw it on stage. I'm sitting in my chair and I'm just cheering. I love that it went well. And I'm like, this is going to be a staple in his act. I just know it. Yeah.
I feel the same way when I see your stuff. It's like,
yeah,
you feel like a proud papa,
Yeah, like we did it together.
Right.
We did it together. So a lot of fun, man.
Yeah.
That's what else did I have? That's all I had for that stuff. But you know what? All of that, is just, hey, here's some notes. Take it. If you don't want, you got a killer bit right there,
Yeah.
But, throw this in there. See if get a couple more yucks out of it.
Yeah, that's all.
Yeah. Great stuff, brother.
I appreciate it, Vinnie. Thank you.
Yeah. So you're gonna tape. What do you say? Tomorrow night?
Tomorrow night.
Okay. I don't have a show. I don't have a show this week. I got a show next week, but I'm definitely doing the Evil Hotel Owners. I got 2 nights to try it. I'm going to do it both nights. So we're going to get a video review, or rather a video update of the Evil Hotel Owners bit. And maybe even the I Hate My Son bit. We'll get another look at that. But actually, I wanted to bring the finished product, because we saw the first time on stage, it was like the 3rd or 4th time on stage. I want to bring it when it's a finished product, and it's almost there. It's almost there. Love doing that bit. Good stuff. Hey, what do you think about next week? We do that idea that we were talking about. The drinking.
Oh, okay. Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
Let's do it. Yeah, I'll get a nice bourbon.
Yep. I'm going to have a little bit of scotch. For those of you who didn't hear that episode, Vac and I were discussing how a lot of the times when comics are discussing bits, it happens after a show, usually at a bar or in a lounge or something like that. And we're having a couple of drinks. Hey, man, I got this bit I'm working on. It's not always drinks, by the way, but Vac and I we're gonna stick with drinks.
Yes,
we're older guys. That's what we do. We have drinks, and we're gonna and here's what I came up with for this, Vac. I have a premise that I think is funny. Really, it's not a bit. It might have like a joke or two or the semblance of a joke, but it's really not even a skeleton.
Oh, okay.
And I say we have some drinks, and I'm just gonna go. Here it is. Here's what I have. And,
all right, let's do it.
This might be the shortest podcast we've ever done. Yeah, right.
That's brilliant. Brilliant.
But so you can see the process and the different ways that comedians come up with jokes or how they develop the jokes. There's a lot of different ways. We might even have a driving podcast where we're driving in the car.
My God, yes.
Coming up with bits, you know what I'm saying? Because that's my staple for, developing bits. Yeah.
Okay, love it.
But that's for the future. Idea. Next week you have the drinking podcast to look forward to. Yeah. Okay. Are you in? Are you in, Vac? Okay, great. All right. Tell them how to get in touch with you, brother.
The website is gregvac.com, GREGVAC, and I got the links to all the other social media stuff.
Same with me. The best way to get in touch with me and find me on social media is just go to my website, which is vinnie.com, VINNIE.com. Ladies and gentlemen, if you have any ideas for the bits that Vac and I are working on, please email us at newbitspodcast@gmail.com. We would love to hear from you. Also, we love that you're listening to the podcast. We love it so much. Thank you so much. But if you haven't subscribed yet, please do that. Yeah, that really helped us out. And write a review because Vac and I are reading them. That's right.
We're reading them.
We're reading them, good or bad. So let fly. We'll read them.
All right.
Great work, Vac. Super impressive. Super ballsy, man. Can't wait to see it again.
Balls.
You got balls.
Right.
We all got balls.
Thank you for everything, Vinny.
See you online, my brother.
All right, buddy.